Hello, great parent. My name is Fateemah Ibraheem, and I'm the founder of Educom Africa. Educom Africa is an education media agency that links Africans to global education opportunities. We just launched a project for child cognitive development as a part of the World Cognition Project, and it's so exciting that we are able to bring this to Nigeria at this moment. It isn't just exciting, the project is coming just at the right time to address a lingering challenge that we see facing Nigerian children. You're welcome to this session where I'll be sharing with you Unlockstar for schools, how schools can benefit from joining this project. I'll be talking about Unlockstar for schools. A little background. At Educom Africa, we link Africans to global education opportunities and we provide schools with quite a range of services, especially services that has to do with digital media. We collaborate with schools and with parents to bring to their doorstep global education opportunities so that we can have the same kind of quality information, quality education, and access to global educational opportunities as every other person around the world would have. A little bit about the mission of Unlockstar. We observed gross potential underdevelopment and underutilization of human capital resources in our nation, Nigeria. Instances of this situation are not far-fetched. We now see youths who are not just unemployed, but are actually unemployable. This is so because at some very critical point in their life, they didn't develop the right skills for the job of the future. And by future, their future is now. So we started thinking, what can we do to help the younger generation, the children who right now still have all of the opportunities in their palms? How can we help them to ensure that they eventually grow into the adults of our dream, into youths who are skilled enough to take up opportunities nationally and globally? So we designed a cognitive development solution. By cognitive development solution, we mean a scientifically validated solution that helps children develop their potentials so that by the time they become of age, ready to take up careers, they would have sufficient enough skills to take up these careers. By the way, we are not just talking about taking up careers, but we are talking about being able to choose careers that best suit their natural abilities. So the Unlock platform is a personalized digital platform that helps schools and parents collaborate to unlock the real potentials of students. We know that our children have a lot of potentials, and Nigerian children especially are very blessed. But how can we help them to harness these potentials so that it can become useful for them? This is the essence of this solution. A little bit about Unlockster for schools. It is a personalized kind of platform. We say it is personalized because each student relates with very personalized, customized activities. It has to be talent building. This is non-academic. But I bet you the insights you get from this platform supports their learning process in a very, very critical way. And I'll cite examples. By being on the Unlockstar platform, we are able to discover and unravel the learning patterns of children, and we're able to have an insight into what their natural abilities and their mental capabilities are. So it is generally a talent building digital platform that is built by cognitive development experts. So the solution we are presenting is actually a work of over 10 years of research by experts who are very skilled in the field of child cognitive psychology and everything child development. This solution came as a result of the need to begin to focus on children where they are, to take them where we want them to be. And so we came up with Unlockstar for schools to help schools discover and develop the true potentials of their students. This project, this solution, this platform is the world's most advanced platform for unlocking the potential of every student. This is so because it captures each student's complete learning needs, and I mean each student. So all of the processes are very personalized. It captures the complete learning needs and offers customized, scientifically validated activities for improving their mental capacity and natural abilities. We understand as educators that students have different learning natures. They have different learning natures, they have different mental capabilities, as varied as they have multitudes of natural abilities. So what works for one student may not necessarily work for the other. Unfortunately, our academic terrain is such that the students relate with a curriculum, the same curriculum, broken down into syllabus, broken down into scheme of works, and broken down further into the lessons they take within a class. We all understand that every teacher has only 40 minutes to deliver what is contained in the lesson note for that period. Now, come to think of it, you can have students who quickly understand, and you can have students who, at some point in time, for different reasons, may not understand as quickly as others. But the teacher has only 40 minutes. So at the end of the 40 minutes, the teacher just moves on, and that topic is done. I understand that schools are doing a lot to ensure that they give personalized, individualized kind of instruction. But there is only a limit to how much schools can go. So we're offering this solution so that schools can have a tool, something that looks like a formula that is all worked out, to be able to personalize learning and to be able to focus on each of these students individually in their own peculiar rights, so that whatever abilities each student have will just be what we focus on, rather than teaching all the students as a gross. So we know that schools need to identify and address the unique needs of every student without distracting academic goals and without putting pressure on teachers. We also understand that every parent needs to have insights into their child's potential and know how to improve it. I understand that a lot of parents have plans for their kids. They want their kids to grow up to become this and to become that. But the issue is that they do not know how. Unlockstar provides that how. Unlockstar answers the question, how. Unlockstar is like putting parenting in the hands of parents. So you have all the tools, you have all the insights to help your child discover their potential and to help them improve it. How does Unlockstar work for schools? It works as a mindset test because at the beginning of this program, the students take a cognitive assessment test to measure their cognitive abilities in terms of how their mindset works, in terms of their strength, in terms of their natural abilities and their mental capability. Then, through the insights we get from this test, from this assessment, we are able to know, as we'll eventually find out when we get into the demo that I'll be showing you soon, we will eventually be able to know what the potential of this child is. For instance, we'll discover that a child scores so high on the visual ability, then we understand that this child is more of a visual learner. This insight is very useful for schools. They now know that when they teach in this class where we have this child, the teacher needs to pay more attention to using visuals for this particular student. And for parents too, they now understand that their child will understand instructions better if they are graphical, if they are in the visual form. Apart from this, the moment we are able to discover the potential of a child through the mindset test, the cognitive assessment test that is, the platform automatically generates personalized activities to begin to focus on each of the ability that we have identified about the child. I'll get there in a moment and you will see how all of these things work. Now, Unlockster is a program that has been packaged, ready to use for both schools, administrators, and parents. We are looking at a point where we can begin to have schools and parents meet regarding how to raise a child. We want to shy away from the attitude of leaving children in the hands of the schools, and we want to make sure that the school gives as much as they can to contribute to the upbringing of the child. So this platform is a complementary kind of tool to ensure that the school delivers and the parents deliver. It's a meeting point kind of. So the platform is such that the school can access the dashboard and they have activities they will do within the school period, and the parents can access the dashboard and they have activities they will do with their kids, maybe during the weekends, maybe for fun projects. All these activity bundles are contained in the dashboard, as I will be showing you in a moment. The important thing, our emphasis here is that every hand needs to be on deck to raise every single child. So we all want to get involved. We all want to be deliberate. We all want to ensure that we are not leaving the raising of these children to chances. We all want to ensure that we are putting in enough input to get the output of an adult of our dream of all of these kids. So we are all ready to give it our best. We are ready at Educom Africa to give you all of the support necessary so that this platform works for you the way it has worked for others who have been using it. And I will show you that in a moment. The Unlockster platform is not just in Nigeria. Although it has been developed in India, it has been taken to the United States of America and it is currently used as a complementary activity for academic programs. We also have some counselors who use the activities for students who are in counseling. We have consultants who use the platform for their different specific use. Again, the platform is live and working in the UK, in Dubai, in Indonesia, and now we are launching it to Nigeria. And we aren't just launching it to Nigeria, we are launching the whole of the World Cognition Project, which Unlockster is a project of. Perhaps the school will talk to you about the World Cognition Project if your child is going to be participating on a global level. But right now, we'll talk about Unlockstar Club as it is used in other countries of the world and as we are currently launching it in Nigeria. Now, quickly, I'll take you through the Unlockster Dashboard. What does it look like? How do you operate it? I'll be showing you that in a moment. So for everyone who is getting on board, you will get a unique login information into the dashboard. And so you sign in here. by inputting the login information. You click login and you'll be into your dashboard. For somebody who is just launching the dashboard for the first time, you'll have these two videos. The first one giving instructions on how to take the assessment test, and the second video talking about the different abilities a child can possibly have so that you can prepare your mind for the kind of results you will find. Then around here, if it is a new dashboard that is just been launched into, you will have a red button saying take assessment. When you click the button, pop, the questions for the assessment starts showing. Let me quickly explain that. For children who are in preschool, their assessment is in one path, and all of the questions are going to be answered by their parents, their teacher, their counselor, their invigilator, or anyone who knows the child well enough to be able to give valid responses. For students who are in primary schools upward, their questions, their cognitive assessment test will be in two parts. The first part with 90 questions that will be answered by the student, and the second part of 80 questions that will be answered by the parent, guardian, teacher, counselor, or whoever is working with the child. All of these instructions I'm talking about are in this video that you would find in the dashboard. So when you click take assessment, it automatically takes you into the assessment page and you start seeing the questions pop up. Immediately you finish the assessment, the dashboard becomes like this. Immediately you finish the assessment, you click submit, the dashboard becomes full. Then you can see the results of the assessment that is just taken, and I'm going to show you the results of this demo assessment. In the results, you'll have quite a lot of insights. A lot of insight for schools to understand the particular learner they are dealing with. A lot of insight for parents to understand their children, so that we all can begin to attend to each child in the best way possible for them to truly unlock their potentials. First of all, in the category of results, you will find strengths and skill sets. These are natural strengths of an individual child. The moment the assessment is completed, the platform generates results. So you see all of the abilities of the child. Don't forget, every child has different abilities. But we are saying that we need to begin to help the child focus on the strongest abilities so that they can master those abilities so well that when they take up a career in it, they excel. If you look at all of these results, scrolling through, you'll see that for visual, this particular demo hypothetical student has 6.55 out of 10, kinesthetic 5.45. Kinesthetic means the ability to use the body, 5.45. Interpersonal 5.45, naturalistic 4.3. So if you see all of the results, you will know how much of these abilities your child have, and you will be able to tell instantly, and from what the result presents, the ability that your child has the strongest. In this case, it is linguistic. How do we know? The platform has helped us to put a badge on the linguistic results. So we know that this child has 7.65 of 10 linguistic ability. What does this mean? It means that such learners can go on to become a very good radio host, a TV host, an attorney, a journalist, a teacher, a writer, and a whole lot of other careers. But this is not even all. By this result, we already have insights into how we should teach this child, into how we should relate with this student in the class so that he best gets whatever we are teaching. We want to ensure that while we are teaching this kind of students, we'll pay more attention to using words the more, because visual may not really appeal to this kind of student. You need to explain, you need to give details, you need to describe. And that's when this kind of student will understand. So all of these kind of results give us insight into how we should teach these children and how we should nurture these children, even as parents. You also have cognitive profile as part of the results, and it shows you a whole lot more about the child. Then you can actually view your results in a printable format to be used, perhaps the school can present it to parents as part of the report sheet. Where I'm hovering around now, you see the button, the blue button, Result PDF. If we click Result PDF now, we will then be able to see a lot of insights about this particular hypothetical student who took this. So you have details that will form very useful insights for parents and for the school. A whole lot of details. So for each of the intelligences, intellectual development, physical intelligence, social intelligence, emotional intelligence, the platform helps us to summarize from the cognitive assessment test how this particular child is faring in all of these regards. So it actually contains a whole lot of insights for parents. Now, apart from this, we have a lot more in the dashboard that I'm going to show you in a moment. Apart from information that will be beneficial for the school, we also have information for parents. So I'm going to log into the dashboard again to show you some other parts of the dashboard. Okay, so here we have the activity bundle. If you can look at the left bar, we have activity bundle. Now these activities have been curated specifically for the student who has these results. So student A and student B would not have the same activity bundle. We have the super skill workbooks that focuses on activities that will help us develop all the abilities that have been discovered through the cognitive assessment. So when you have a fresh dashboard, you have 12-month full super skill workbooks. The first month will be the only one that is downloadable. By the time it is the same day in the next month, month 2 will also be downloadable. So that's how this pretty works. If you view instructions, the platform is just very easy to use. You can view instructions for each of the activities to know exactly what you should do. And just once in a month, you can decide to download all of the activities, all of the worksheets that is for that month, and then give it to this child once in a day or as you find it easy. For the use of the school, they may be incorporating the worksheet into some periods of lessons so that perhaps a particular period will be identified for potential unlock activities, and so they'll be using these workbooks to help the child, to groom the child's talent in the areas that have been discovered in the cognitive assessment. Apart from the super skill workbooks, there are also personal activities. Don't forget that we said this platform is helping us to focus on the strongest ability of every child so that we can be helping them improve these abilities one at a time. We do not want to be disfocused. We do not want to divert our attention by looking here and looking there. We just want to focus on what the student find the easiest to do, what is their strongest ability, and that is usually their talent. So you will discover that the personal activities are in 4 categories. The activity 1 will focus on one particular natural ability, which is the strongest. Activity 2, 3, 4 will focus on the other 3 less strong ability. So the platform actually generally identifies 4 strongest ability of the child and begin to focus on helping the child get better at them. If I click on activity 1 now, you will find that we have a lot of activities that is based on the strongest ability. Don't forget that the strongest natural ability we found for this hypothetical student is linguistic. And so you have a lot of linguistic activities. 37. Some students can have more and some students can have less, depending on the rate of the linguistic ability and how much work we need to do for them. Now, these personal activities are expected to be done once in a week, at weekends. Perhaps the school will give them as their weekend exercise. Then parents can support them to do it at home. Don't forget, this is a tool that we are hoping that parents and schools can work together on to help the child develop their talent. So while the school does their part in the weekdays, when it is weekend, they may bring some of these activities. They may assign it to them to be done at home. So all you need to do is to log into the dashboard and easily go through the activity you want to do. If it's a weekend activity, you can choose any of these activities. For instance, you can view the activity by clicking this button. Let's say you're taking number 1. And what you see is a tutorial. When you click this button, tutorial, it takes you directly into a video that will explain exactly what the child wants to do. Now, children usually find this very interesting because videos are engaging and they keep the attention of the child a lot. The child does not really have to sweat it. The parent does not really have to, worry so much. They just watch the video. They love to watch videos. After watching the videos, now they have the worksheet for this particular activity. And the moment they click it, boom, they see the exercise to be done that is based on the video they watched. So now this is a big deviation from the usual teacher standing in front of the class and talking a lot, and the child is really not picking everything. The student picks as much as possible from a video watched and is able to imitate whatever is in the video in the worksheet very easily. So this makes learning fun. They don't even know they are learning. They don't even know they're doing any work. And one step at a time, they are getting better at their natural abilities. And this is our intention. We want them to catch fun while they develop their talent. So you have personal activities. They're in 4 categories. If we click the second category now, activity 2, you will find out that it is focused on another strong ability of the child, which is interpersonal. Now, this one has fewer activity because it is not the number 1 strongest. If you look at activity 3, activity 4, they quite have fewer activities than activity 1. Activity 1 contains activities that are focused on the number 1 strongest ability for the child, because that's the ability we are hoping to help the child develop as a talent, as a potential we are unlocking. And in this case, it is linguistic. So we are trying to groom the child to become a TV host, to become a radio broadcaster, to become an attorney, to become a journalist, to become any of those careers that requires them to be outspoken, to use great speech prowess. And so one step at a time, one activity at a time, we get closer to that goal. Now the third set of activity in the activity bundle, as we have it on the dashboard, is the talent activities. Now this is basically fun project. There are fun projects that the child definitely love to do, and the parent would definitely love to partake in together with their child. So let's assume you are taking number 3 or number 5. Imagine yourself in the age of robots. Okay, all the activities have instructions that are very easy to find just by a click. Now, the format of this particular project is either image, write-up, or a video. So I'm going to view instructions. The instructions read, there are 30 unique topics for parent-child activities. Did you get that? Parent-child activities. So we expect that you do this project at home with your child to improve child-parent bonding. Read the topics carefully, create the activities in the desired formats. The format here are either image, write-up, or video. Then, relevant activities shall be uploaded in the format mentioned. Topics will change on first day of each month. So every month you have fresh topics in your dashboard, topics that are specifically curated for a particular child. If you have twins in the house, the activities will not even be the same, depending on how varied their abilities are. So that's the instruction you want to do. Imagine yourself in the age of robots. You guide the child to understand that it's an image or a write-up or a video. After completing the work, you come here, you choose the file. Now there's an interesting part. Every parent scores a point for helping the child complete their project or for helping the child partake in the Unlockster activities generally. Can you see the point for activity number 5? 25 points. So let's see how we view these points all together. If you go back to the dashboard, you will see here parenting points in the purple box, current month parenting points, current month activity submitted, total activity submitted. So the dashboard generally summarizes everything going on in here. And so at a glance, you can view all of them. Now there's another more interesting thing. This dashboard has tools for parents that we refer to as parenting guide. Now, we are saying as parents, you need to take charge of your children's growth. Do not leave your children's growth to chances. No one gets desired children, desired adults by just throwing parenting to chances. You need to get involved. You really need to get involved. So we have recommendations of books here. We are saying that you do not just allow your child to read any book apart from recommended school books just because his friend or her friend is reading the book. No. This particular child who we are trying to build the linguistic talent has recommended books in his dashboard that you as a parent can begin to use to guide the child. If I click books now, don't forget that this child has linguistic abilities the most. Check out the kind of books suggested for this child. You have Lexi, the Word Wrangler. You have Welcome to Symphony. You have all books that are majorly focusing on the strongest ability of the child, which is the talent we are trying to build. Apart from books, you also have movie suggestions. So we are saying that parenting is not something you do haphazardly. It is an activity you do deliberately. So you are not going to bring up your child watching adult movies. You want to give your child age-specific, age-relevant activities to do, and movies are one of them. So we really need to shy away from allowing our kids watch what we are watching, so that when a parent decides to watch Z World all day through, the children are watching. When a parent decides to watch African Magic all day through, the children are watching. No. They have the kind of movies that will help them to build their talent. And if you look at movies here, for this particular child, you will see the kind of movies that have been recommended. Don't forget, this particular child's movies will be different from the next child's recommended movies because they are different learners. We also have games that are specifically curated for this kind of child. Let's see. Fun English, Word Puzzle, Learn to Spell. All of these games are specifically curated to help this kind of learner to achieve the best possible ability in linguistics. And so when we say this is a parenting platform, you definitely understand what we mean. It gives you all the tools, all the insights you need to help your child grow into an adult of your dream. What's more, a whole lot more. If you get into the dashboard, you'll find more and more. I can go on and on, but I'll turn back now from that Dashboard Tour. I believe you have learned quite a lot about the Unlockster Dashboard. Now, are you ready to join the World Cognition Project? Are you ready to help your child improve their talents? Are you ready to take charge of parenting? Because this is all what the Unlockster platform provides you. We are ready. We launched the project for you, and we're hoping that you will come on board through your school. So if you have any question, ask the managers of your child's school. If you have other questions for us, you can use any of these contact information and we will be right with you. Thank you very much.